Say goodbye to your pesky weeds with these 5 organic weed killing methods.
No chemicals needed at all.
Did you know that in name brand non-organic weed killers, there's a chemical called glyphosate, and it's been linked to cancers. It's even been found in people's urine that have eaten this stuff. It's the main ingredient in Roundup. People have been overusing these weed killers so much. The weeds have actually become resistant to the weed killer itself,
making the problem even worse than what it already is. So today, we're going to show you guys how to effectively take care of these weeds organically without the need for chemicals, because they cause harm to the environment. They can also cause harms to your animals and to you.
Okay, so one of the main methods, organic methods, is one that we use here on our farm, and it's cardboard and mulching.
So you can take sheets of cardboard, and we get ours from our feed store. They're the ones that sit on top of the pallets. You can always use contractor's paper and as well as cardboard boxes, as long as you remove the labels and tape, to lay down in your garden, preferably before you plant, and then wet that down and then put mulch on top of that, and the cardboard will break down. But before it breaks down, what it'll do is smother your weeds by not giving them any access to light.
Another organic method that we use here at Large Family Homestead is vinegar, water, and soap, and we used it on our fence line and it worked great.
Now, you might need to do a couple applications to get rid of everything, but we really like to use this on our fence line specifically because we have chickens and dogs that have access to this fence line, and this way we're not spraying something that could harm either of them.
Next method, fully organic, is landscape fabric. You can use that instead of the cardboard and mulching. We've used it in our garden beds, our raised garden beds. We put it on the bottom of the beds before we put them down, and we also have friends that use it too, and it worked great.
They have an absolutely beautiful garden. What they did is they burn holes where they're putting the plants, and then no weeds. Just have to weed around the plants every now and then. The fourth method is to avoid watering your weeds altogether. So instead of just bringing a hose down to your garden and spraying your entire garden bed or garden plot, carefully water around each plant instead of watering the whole area. This way, the only thing that's actually getting water is the plants that you want to grow. And you can let the rest of the soil dry out, and hopefully this stops your weeds from growing.
Fifth and final method, I'm sure this isn't like the only list, but we're always going to have weeds. I don't know of any garden that is weed free. So the last method is to actually get down on your hands and knees and weed your garden. You're going to have to weed around those crops. You don't want the weeds choking them out and taking those precious resources away from your crops.
Yes. Now, I just want to mention right now that we do have a sponsor for this video. deerfamy is sponsoring this video. They have sponsored us in the past, if you guys remember the garden stool, and that was a great product. And today they were letting us try one of their newer products, which should make hand weeding a lot easier. Now, I do want to say I've already put this tool together, and it was super simple. It came with really easy instructions. All I had to do was screw the handles together, and it was super easy. I had no problems. It took me less than 5 minutes. So now we're going to try it out. We're going to see how it works, and we're going to give you guys our honest review.
Okay, so as you can see right here, somebody did some weeding here. We have lots of weeding hands. And sometimes the little people will rip the top off and leave the root. So this tool here, what you do is you go over the root, push it down, and it pulls, and you pry with the little lever because it clamps down. When this pushes down on the ground, it clamps this clamp to the other clamp, and there you go. And then you can just release it, and there it is, root and all. So this thing right here works fabulous for weeding and pulling the whole root up. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have to bend over to use this tool. This is great for people with bad backs, knees. My knees aren't the greatest. I'm getting a little older now, and it's harder to weed. So I can weed so much longer with this, because if I get down and I'm crawling around on the ground, it doesn't take me long before I want to quit. As you can see, I don't even have to bend my knees. You can use your foot too to push down on it. It's got a little foot grip on it to push down. And as you can see, I never had to bend my back. And then you use your lever to pull. And you can see how much this would grab at one time. It'll grab a lot. And my weed is actually inside there, right there with the whole root in it. Whoop, the root just broke off because it was actually in the little clamp, but you can see I got all of it, root and all. So another great thing. It gets your, I can hardly do that sometimes when I'm on my knees to get the whole root. So this thing here will clamp that root, rip it out, done.
Also, y'all, you can use this for more than your garden. It says right on the thing that you can use this for lawns, gravel areas, driveways, and walkways. So it can be used for a variety of different places. And if you guys want to purchase your own weed puller, the link is in the description below as well. If you guys have any organic weed methods that you have tried and know work, make sure you leave them in the comments below. I love learning new methods and trying them out. Also,
don't forget to like, subscribe, share this out with your friends.